they want to go into being competitive, that they would be a Stanley Cup contender by the time Shakir got to the team. And he would just add on another talented defenseman to a team that we would already have. And I think that they're going to give him as much time as they possibly can to develop. And look, if it doesn't work out, okay, it's not the end of the world. You still made 2 other first-round picks in that draft. So It's not like you're breaking the bank here and you're riding on him to play top 4 minutes, once he gets to the NHL. And I think that, with Fitzgerald talking about how in, 2024, 25 time frame, it just goes to show you that they're taking their time with Shakir. They're going to let him develop the way he needs to develop. The World Juniors was a little, a sliver of what he can do. And if he just continues to work on his game, the sky's the limit for this kid. I think that was a really solid pick. And the Devils just didn't want to go after a defenseman that they needed to plug into their team right away, like if they had drafted, I don't know, Jake Sanderson.
Yeah, I agree with that 100%.
So,
and again, he's probably going to be back in the tournament next year for Russia, so people will get to see him if they don't subscribe to On Hockey or just be watching games.
Yeah, that's true.
From Russia. So he'll be back with the team again, so you get to see him on national television. So I mean, the guys that were there, it was good to see 6 prospects playing in the tournament. It's a shame what happened to Moynihan because with Team USA, you don't.
At least he got the gold. You can't argue that.
Yeah, I mean he got the gold medal, but I think we didn't see we didn't see it as much as we should have because of the injuries and stuff. But
and he was playing on the 4th line most of the tournament, which wasn't helping him either.
No, but I mean, look, you were not going to break that Farinacci lineup. I mean, they were just grinding, and the top 2 lines were pretty much set. So I mean,
fun fact: Farinacci actually lives in the town across from me. So
Red Bank,
he's
baby.
from Red Bank.
Yeah, that's why I was thrown off when they said that on national TV. I was like, did they just say Red Bank, New Jersey on national TV?
Yo, Dave Starman, he knows.
Dave Starman knows everything. He's like a little Pierre almost.
He's.
I do. I had a feeling Jake was just sitting there he's just seething at his place in Canada right now.
He's like Pierre Maguire, but not as.
How about Spencer Knight, Jake?
Spencer Knight, man.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you know what? I went into work the next. So I went to work obviously the next day, and I was talking with my dad, right? Because I have kind of an interesting I had actually an interesting story about my dad's hockey and stuff. I know it's way off topic, but actually that's a new record. We went 77.
We kind of did, so to speak. I mean, if you really want,
we did with Line, but I mean, if we don't really need to count that because that was part of the Brad conversation. So I mean, I think that was okay. Yeah. So.
Yeah, so what I was gonna say is, so my dad could have went to the NHL if he had pursued a hockey career, because he had offers from OHL colleges, all that stuff. Yeah, so actually I have a cool story. So my dad went to a summer camp one year, and it came down to 2 players left to make the team. Okay. So it came down to
wow.
Shit.
and Joe Nieuwendyk. Okay? And they cut.
Whoa.
I'm not kidding.
That's
Joe Nieuwendyk.
That's crazy.
That's bad.
Yeah. Yeah.
I would tell that story to everyone, but I made the team over Joe Nieuwendyk when I was a kid. How about that?
My dad also sent a resume in to become the coach of the Toronto Maple Leafs, and he got a letter back.
That's a cool story too. I don't know which one's better, that one or the Joe Nieuwendyk story.
Hang on. No, it's not. He's got the letter framed and everything, but there's one line in the replied letter back from Cliff Fletcher that kills me every time. Well, Anthony, while we appreciate your interest in becoming the next head coach of the Toronto Maple Leafs, we're sorry, but we're going with somebody a little more experienced.
That is awesome.
I mean, that is nice of them to reply still. I thought, like, that's cool, even if it says that.
Yeah, no, that is pretty awesome that they're doing that. They did that.
That's pretty solid. So before we were talking about the AHL, right? And they brought up the question about Mercer. So I was going to tell you guys, one of my buddies works for the Binghamton Devils, and he was talking to me. I was talking to him before the alignment got made, and he said that they were supposed to be in the Atlantic with Bridgeport, Hartford, and Boston with Providence, but it got switched, and they don't understand why, because now it's tougher travel for them since they're playing in Newark. It would have made more sense if they were in Binghamton with playing in the Northern Division, but now they're in Newark and they got to travel to Utica, Syracuse, Wilkes-Barre, Scranton instead of Bridgeport, Hartford, and Providence. Well, I think Providence is in Massachusetts now. They're playing in, I think, like Rockport or something.
Yeah, they're not playing in Providence this year, right? Kind of like what they're. Yeah.
But he's like, this is just, it doesn't make any sense. Like, and he knew, like, before the announcement, he was like, yeah, we're playing in Jersey this year. I'm like, okay, so how does that affect your schedule? Originally, like, Lehigh Valley was supposed to be in it too, but it's so one team has 3 divisions. I'm like, this makes absolutely no sense. He's like, I know, it's so dumb.
Yeah, why wouldn't they have them with, like, Bridgeport and Lehigh and all that? Even Wilkes-Barre is not that far away from here. Like, you can pull that off, but still, yeah, it's kind of a weird division.
Yeah.
Hey, well, hold on, Jake.
Okay, so
Jake, I just wanted to say I have some more news on Corey, Corey Crawford.
Yeah.
Do you guys? I don't know if you guys are on Instagram, but if you are, Punk Empire, he actually is really good with the coverage of rumors and things like that. He has reliable sources. He says that Corey Crawford is actually leaning towards retirement. So, he says he has a long concussion history along with a lack of motivation. So there is a possibility within the next 24 to 48 hours that we may actually get an announcement that Corey Crawford is retiring. Puck Empire.
Puck Empire.
What's the Instagram?
He's very
Neil?
Trust me, guys. He's very reliable. When he puts stuff out there, he doesn't put it out there just to put it out there. He puts it out there with a lot of substance to it. So
yeah, no, he's a good follow. I actually follow him.
And he also makes sure that he puts in his posts, he puts it's update or it's a rumor. He wants to make it clear, and so it's more interesting because, Puck Empire also responded to someone on that post saying it'll be interesting to see what he does for sure. No decision made yet, but he has informed the Devils that it's a thought, so they can look at backup plans in case he goes through with it. So Devils.
Then he followed that up by saying this by no means means that he's retiring, by the way.
Right.
It is just something he's heavily considering. He wanted to be in Chicago the whole career. Dealt with concussions, all that stuff, but that doesn't mean he's retiring.
No, of course. We again, like I said, anything that we've said today has no confirmation to it. It's all about the fact that we just are trying to get answers to a really weird situation, to a situation we don't understand, and I think.
Yep. So the point, the question I have, like, with this is that, like, okay, like, and I don't disagree with the guy's post or whoever. I just followed him now because, like, I didn't know the account. But the retirement part, I understand, like, in the quote he put with the picture he uploaded. But the lack of motivation part that he added, I was kind of surprised by that because when he signed here, he said, as soon as New Jersey called and I got on the phone with Martin Brodeur, that was the big deciding factor.
That is true.
Signing with the Devils, getting to meet Marty Brodeur, my hero, and all that kind of stuff. And he's like, it was too good of an opportunity to turn down. I want to help Mackenzie grow and become even a better goaltender, all this kind of stuff. And he was saying all the right things. And, every goalie goes and gets a mask done. He got a wicked mask done with the Devils and all that stuff and
Jake,
whatnot. And then all of a sudden there's talk that he might retire.
Well, no, Jake,
why would you
remember, you have to be sympathetic in saying that we're hearing the possibility that it has to do with depression and anxiety. And your emotions can change at any moment. One day you could be feeling super excited to be with a new team. And then the next day you could be like, why am I here? I don't want to be here. This is not
like the Leonard situation. It was like the Leonard situation in Buffalo.
Right. He just did I'm not saying that Corey Crawford hates that he's on the Devils. I think that in a normal situation, he would be perfectly happy with being with the Devils because they're giving him a chance. They're giving him a place to play.
They're giving him a self-belief.
More devastated from the whole, situation when it comes to the fact that the Blackhawks basically said to him that we don't want you anymore. And he's given his mind, his body, his soul to that team, won 2 Stanley Cups, and is considered to be, an all-time, well-liked player in Chicago. And,
but,
lack motivation, that's a normal part of depression and anxiety. And also this, Corey Crawford has nothing left to really prove at this point in his career. He's approaching 40 years old, and the only thing that he would have left to really try to do is, I guess, to try to pad on his stats to maybe make a case to be a Hall of Famer. I mean, but that's a long shot in my opinion.
Neil, we got to
none of this is a guarantee. None of this is confirmed. We are immediately just saying the information that we've sort of gotten. And I think at the end of the day, whatever happens, we just have to respect, his decision and understand that, that's just how it goes sometimes. And at least he's giving the Devils an opportunity to figure out a plan B for that. And I think the plan B is going to end up being somebody of Scott Wedgwood, of Sen, I think it's going to be that, unless they want to make a move like we were talking about before, to make a move for a guy like Fleury, which could still very, very well be possible.
Well, I don't think they don't have the money for Fleury anymore, so.
That's the other part. That was the other part that I was going to mention before, that the Devils would have to shed salary to get salary. I mean, they'd have to give up somebody, but that's why I think that they would end up, just from a backup goalie standpoint, they'd probably just have to go with somebody that they already have.
Unless there's still somebody on the market that you could sign for like the league.
Yeah,
I think Carter Hutton is still available.
No, he's with Buffalo, but
he's still
Jimmy Howard's still out there. I mean, that's like the only
Craig Anderson.
Yeah, Craig. Yeah, Anderson's with the PTO at the Capitals right now.
No, Craig.
Yeah, it's like we were excited about it before when it came to like who's available. But now it's a little bit different, and I think when you look at you look at some of the goaltenders that are available, and I'm trying to come up with any decent name. You look at
there's a possible trade.
A lot of the names that I'm seeing here are not Garrett Sparks.
No,
Calgary.
Did he go to Calgary?
He's there on a PTO.
Could we bring back Zane McIntyre, who we acquired and never actually saw play, ever?
Or your boy Louis Domingue?
No. Let's not do that.
No.
Let's really not do that. I'm gonna pretend I didn't hear that.
No, Neil.
I got jokes too, so don't worry.
Well, Louis Domingue is on a new team.
Hold on a sec.
Bake cookies.
Let Joe talk.
So Chris.
All right,
I'm not there for that.
Okay, so
again.
So, all right, Joe.
So, anyways,
in all seriousness, it's a frustrating situation. It's not ideal, but I just hope that it all gets resolved one way or the other.
Look, so let me put it this way: on the fourth period, Jonas Korpisalo is on the trade market. There's currently Buffalo and Chicago interested.
Okay,
but really, I mean, can Korpisalo really deal with the way that John Tortorella is allowing Elvis Merzlikins to steal his spot? I think it would be a great idea. The Devils should actually look into a trade for Jonas To me, I thought easy.
Yeah, I mean, if Columbus is looking to